Ta-da! Oh, you know what? Chat has. I forgot about the Super Bowl. This may not be a very successful stream, I would imagine. I didn't even think about it. It's about going to a friend's house, eating all the wings, drinking all the beer. It's true. I have never once in my life really cared too much about football teams. I enjoyed playing football in high school. I had a good time with like high school sports, but I've never given a shit about football. But I do enjoy the camaraderie and hanging out with people and having a good time. So I've been to plenty of Super Bowl parties. I just have never given a shit about who wins or not. You know what I mean? Good evening slash morning. It is the afternoon-ish right now, and it snowed all day yesterday, which was beautiful. The flakes were fucking big and fat. It was great. It was a really cool time. The only problem is once like the late afternoon hit, it stopped snowing and the afternoon sun sort of killed off all the snow, most of the snow on the street, so it didn't quite stick. Little frustrating. Oh, let's do the thing with the controller real quick. There we go. Mr. Kill Jr., hey, what's up, dude? Haven't been around for one of your streams in a while. Hope Japan's treating you well. It's treating me very well, actually. Thank you. Speaking of which, why don't I switch to HDMI 2, and then we could put you guys on. There we go. And yeah, we're good to go. Hell yes. I've never cared about sports. Yeah, I mean, you know, they never really do too much for me. UFC is kind of fun, especially nowadays that takedowns, or I guess like submissions have become less popular compared to knockouts, which I would much rather see two people stand up and punch each other till one of them passes out than see like a guy really technically execute a very cool move that is meant to keep people from fighting. That's one thing I hate about BJJ. It's incredibly fun to practice and it's an awesome skill to have in your back pocket, but realistically speaking, I don't think it has a place in. Here's the thing. It's complicated because on one end, it is an incredibly efficient way to make someone stop fighting. On the other end, if you are in combat sports, your aim should probably be to beat the shit out of your opponent as opposed to forcing them to stop fighting as if you were on the street and try not to catch a charge. That's my only issue. I recognize its efficacy and I think it has a place on the street. Sort of. I think if you're fighting more than one person or if you're on the street and someone has a knife or something like that, BJJ is more likely to get you killed than traditional fighting, but that's coming from somebody who used to be a bouncer. I would much rather knock somebody out than wrap them up because you don't know how many friends they have at the bar with them and shit. That's what Kimbo Slice's fights were. Yeah, you know, the thing is Kimbo did an amazing job on the amateur circuit, but once you put him in the UFC and made him follow like a strict set of rules, it's like, fuck, man, you kind of took away a lot of his power and intimidation. Hold on, I guess the thing I did didn't work. It's something about Parasite Eve specifically that always starts off in analog mode for some reason. Wait, no, it's still doing it. Hold on. Why is this? One more time? Ah, fucker. Okay, maybe it's an input on the controller that's doing it. Oh, it's actually working now. Hell yeah. I did not know that. So if you're using the Brook Wingman Bluetooth adapter for the PS1, the PlayStation button on a PS5 controller will switch between analog and digital modes. I did not know that. That's fun. I want to see a real life Tekken match. Yeah, I want to see somebody master the backdashing inputs in real life. Kimbo Slice days were it. That's true. What do you think of RE9 so far? Is that out? Holy shit! Wait, hold on. Did I miss that? 9 release date. Oh no, the 27th. Okay, I haven't missed it. Oh, thank God. Wait, what's today? It's the 9th. Okay, good. You know, to be honest with you, I feel a little disillusioned with the Resident Evil series at the moment. I'm hyped that they're returning to Raccoon City. Zombies coming back is good. I'm just struggling to think about a scenario where Resident Evil could get me really interested in a concept or something. And it's not necessarily the series' fault. It's just it keeps chasing these trends that have made previous games popular, and that's understandable from a business standpoint. But as a fan, it sucks. You know, like I remember playing Resident Evil 8, and Resident Evil 8 was fun. But it was fun in the same way that like something vat grown in a lab to resemble funness would be. It was a very soulless type of fun, like a Call of Duty campaign, which, you know, those are fun, right? But it doesn't feel unique or interesting or like a labor of genuine love anymore. It feels more like, you know, I don't know. It's tough because back in the day you can make the same argument, right? Resident Evil 1 worked really well. Resident Evil 2 came out and was a continuation of a very, very similar formula, gameplay style, graphical style, everything like that. And that continued up until, you know, roundabout RE1 Remake and RE0. I just would have liked to have seen that genre continue to have been iterated upon, as opposed to like everything turning into RE4, because RE4 did well, and then when the RE4 formula stopped working, then they moved to RE7, which was first person, and then they're like, well, we have to do that from now on, so we'll make RE8 that way. And I don't know, man. Resident Evil sort of, I think what it is, John Reeves, like, hey, what's up, dude? It's one of my favorite games on PS1. Dude, you have very good taste. How you been, man? I think because I've been playing so many indie survival horror games that stick so close to that classic Resident Evil formula, it is sort of hard to go back. I think my ceiling has been raised in terms of my expectations for a game of that type. And because of that, it doesn't quite feel like Resident Evil can match up to the same level of quality, given they're not making the same games anymore. You know what I mean? Capcom did nab some of the Silent Hill PT devs. You know, that doesn't mean too much if the person in charge of the project is aiming for a specific goal that might not be aligned with that. And to be honest with you, I don't think PT has any business playing like Resident Evil or vice versa, you know. Certainly not to be mean or anything like that. I just don't think, I don't know. There's not a lot of crossover in terms of pools of talent when it comes to a first person esoteric ass fucking repeat the actions puzzler versus you know, a third person fixed camera angle tank controls driven survival horror game. Yeah, you know, honestly, Zero Zero Resi, that was sort of my hope, was that the Revelations series would be a lower budget spin-off series that would kind of take on a more classic Resident Evil feel, and the proper named Resident Evil series would continue on the route of like RE6, where action over everything. None of us got what we wanted in that sense, though. The trend chasing, Jared, took Capcom some time to go to first person horror style. Yeah, it took RE6 succeeding financially but failing critically for them to do that. I mean, obviously Survivor exists, so they were really keen on first person early on, but you know, it was a spin-off and doesn't necessarily count. We're trying to farm junk. And apparently just, we're not going to fight anybody? What the fuck's going on here? Oh, you fucker. I just want Outbreak. Yeah, we all do, man. If the entire world was polled on what they want most, I think just above feeding everyone and making sure everybody had money, it would be the return of Resident Evil Outbreak. It crushes my soul that Square won't bat an eye doing something with this. Well, you know, in their defense, the last time they did, it was a massive failure, but they have been crippled in a sense that they can't use the Parasite Eve property anymore because the estate of Hideaki Sena is holding on to it pretty tight. And I'm not 100% that Squaresoft is willing to spend a lot of money on the IP rights for Parasite Eve for a title that they don't think is going to do well, especially now that they've sort of moved fully into the AAA game design ethos, which has them, instead of making small gains on small projects, they're more interested in making all money at all times. And if you're not making every dollar humanly possible, then you're not making any money at all whatsoever. It's you know, the Activision sort of mindset for game design, and Squaresoft is now a AAA modern day mainstream publisher, and they're running on that business model. And I don't think the concept of of Parasite Eve gets them too excited, because they would be spending money right out the gate on the IP rights, because you know, Parasite Eve 1 was based on the book, and they no longer have the rights to the book, which is why Parasite Eve 2 and Third Birthday had nothing to do with anything outside of Aya Brea and the characters they created. But I don't know, that's a tough sell for them, especially given the CEOs who are in charge of Squaresoft right now. Hey Jared, the interview vid... Oh, Catbat, what's up, dude? Interview vid is done. I'm confident you'll like it. I sent you an unlisted link on your Discord, Twitter DM. I'd like to release it tomorrow. I'd like to get your blessing first. Yeah, as soon as I'm done streaming, I'll watch. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and pull up those DMs, sucker. I can't wait to check it out. I'm fucking fun. There you are, Catbat. All right, sick. I got it loaded up, big dog.
Hey guys, nice to see you again.
Okay, there we go. All right, nice. I recognize the Front Mission 1 shop song as soon as that started, so I'm already a fan. Hey, sucking my dick. What's up, big dog? How we doing? Third Birthday wasn't a real Parasite Eve. That new business model has lost them all the money, by the way. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it doesn't work. It's proven not to have worked. But that is the way video games are made now. And I think people are under the impression that it's the only way to move forward is to spend, you know, half of the money you have available to you on a single project that you can then charge more money for loot boxes or cosmetics or whatever, and then do that like once every 2 years, as opposed to, I don't know, spend a fraction of the money you have on developing a game with a small budget that can reach an audience that's guaranteed to support it, and then profiting not $1 trillion billion, but proportionally speaking, making a profit off of a smaller project that can feed into bigger mainstream releases. But also, I mean, like if Squaresoft continued the Final Fantasy series how it is, which is terribly, Final Fantasy is no longer a role-playing game, and I think it's fair to say that that's the case. You know, so okay, you want to continue that? Sure, fine, whatever. Like I've been murdered already. I can't die anymore. You can't hurt my heart any more than you already have. So you keep doing that, but then have these smaller projects like Triangle Strategy or something like that, which is a development project that will cost you comparably much less money than the stuff that you're working on in the mainstream, but also might have a bigger return on investment compared to the bigger mainstream product. You don't have to be the largest company on planet Earth. You don't have to produce the most incredibly impressive graphical fucking showcase of Unreal 5 imaginable. You could just spend like a reasonable amount of money on a budget for a fucking video game and then have it be targeted at a very specific audience who has shown through market research data to support the games that they enjoy, whether it be from AAAs or the indie sector. Like, how is that so hard to explain? I'm not a business major in college or anything like that, but I can tell you right now that if I were elected as CEO of Square Enix Incorporated, I could turn the company around in like 4 years. It would be very fucking easy. Because at the moment, it's a business model that doesn't work, and they're investing a lot of money into producing games as well. And that's fair, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But they, in their production, they want creative oversight as well. And I think the most successful move in video game AAA production that has ever happened was Rockstar buying the rights to Max Payne and telling Remedy, hey, we know what made the first one work was your specific team. So we want your team working on it. We don't want any input on how the game is created. We just want something that plays like Max Payne. Yeah, everyone knows putting all your eggs in one basket over and over again, despite countless failures, is a smart move. Listen, it is the current AAA process. And I don't understand it, you know? I just, man, I don't get it. I don't, like, video games have become commoditized. Is that the word? They've become commodities, which are like stamp and print molds that you're able to continually recreate over and over again. And, you know, in a certain sector, sure, that's fine. Like, I'm a fan of mystery dungeon RPGs, and if we're being very honest, those mostly play very similar to each other, and that's fine. But in the AAA space, everything is the same exact open world, third person, dialogue choice driven, Western RPG light elements thing. They're all the same exact game, and they keep coming out, and they keep not doing very well. And the AAA developers are like, well, next time for sure. You know what I mean? Like, that's definitely gonna fuck it. What the fuck's going on, man? I don't understand it at all. Why is this happening? Here's the problem. I don't want that 5-shot thing, but I love the PPK's base stats and its first attack attribute. That's tough. Commodified. Thank you. Commodified. Commoditized, did I say? I'm an idiot. Or it's a Souls-like. Yeah, that's true. But I'm noticing that trend starting to drop off. The Souls-like and Metroidvania sort of approach in the indie scene has started to die off, and I think you're seeing in the AAA space that's also the case. +1. So base of 34. Base of 36, but it has auto item. We don't necessarily need auto item, to be fair. Interesting. Okay, we're not going to fuck with that now. Let's try to get some junk. Avalanche only reads comments from people he knows or from people who pay super chats. He has sold his soul. That is not true at all. I try to read comments from everybody. Oh shit, he scared him away. Also, wait a minute, I read your comment. That proves it's not true. No, I usually read the most recent comments because those are the ones closest to my eyes. I try to, I don't want people thinking they have to super chat in order for me to read their stuff. So I spend most of the time on stream watching, or reading comments. Bello Yogo? Is that Italian, perhaps? Noah Holliston says, you're very respectable from what I've seen. Oh, thank you. I try. I definitely do attempt to be respectable. Okay, we got a base of 48. Pretty good. But I would like to carry over all of my stuff. I need a super tool for that. Well, all right, let's see what we're dealing with here. I'll keep you around too. This game is so tough in terms of weapon customization because you're so limited in the tools you're given to transfer stats, and sometimes you have a great weapon that's good for like 3 reasons. That sucks. Is cost of living higher in Japan or in the US? I know location depending, but in general, cheaper spots, Japan versus US. It has been my experience that the cost of living in Japan is exceedingly cheaper than it is in America at the moment. Oh, I might get my fucking ass kicked. You know, if you choose to live in the heart of Shinjuku, your rent is going to be fucking wild. But if you decide to move to a residential area that is not necessarily like, for example, I live in Nakano, which is a pretty big ward, and I love it here. It's incredible, but it's also like
Jared
20
would
minutes.
Never sell his soul for a super chat.
Gerald 20, thank you for the $5. It's true. And you could tell because I read exactly what he said and he super chatted. Thank you, man. Yeah, I live in Nakano. It's a very residential area compared to the more urban places like Shibuya, Shinjuku, Akihabara, stuff like that. And I would say rent here is significantly cheaper than most of the cities you would live in America, by my estimation, from what I've seen. My friends living in South Florida and stuff like that. The only problem is you have a very high barrier for entry because you have to, learn Japanese, which is not easy. I can tell you from experience. But you also have to get a job that will sponsor your visa. And sometimes most of the time, that means teaching English, which is not the most profitable job to work by a landslide. So there are factors to consider there. But in terms of the amount that I spend on food every month, the amount that I spend on internet, electricity, stuff like that, I don't think that I could find a comparable place in Florida where I lived before that would offer a similar level of quality of life. Hey, my mom's in the chat. What's up, Mom? What time is it? You need to be going to sleep. It's all true, but the apartments are super small. See, that's the trick. The secret is everybody who comes to Tokyo immediately tries to apartment hunt. If you find a house, it probably means that you'll be living in a more residential sector, which is going to mean less rent money, right? But houses can be significantly cheaper than apartments and offer up way more room. Like the house that I live in right now, in Japanese terms, is pretty large. It's got 3 bedrooms, 2 floors. It's a really nice house, but I pay less than a lot of my friends pay to live in Shibuya in a single room apartment. You know what I mean? So I would say one of the biggest, most highly guarded secrets about living in Tokyo is houses. Try to find a fucking house. Everybody's opinion of living in Tokyo is apartment living, and you don't have to do that at all. This is a really this place is packed with houses. You might be a little further away from big city centers than you might be comfortable with, but you're going to pay a lot less for rent. You're going to have access to a lot of the amenities of residential areas, let's see, easy access to things like grocery stores, neighborhood bars, barber shops, secondhand shops, stuff like that. And living in the heart of the city is great because you have access to a lot of name brand shit, but it's really, really nice having your home shit taken care of. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. Carmela wants in. Hold on. His mom has her on. She does, actually, upstairs. When she gets in the chair, she's got to get pets. Those are the rules. You in the pet's chair? Oh, yeah. She's in a good mood. Here, why don't you get on the table for me so I can sit down, please? Thank you very much. There you go. Oh, yeah. Headphones. Oh. Man, I wish I was independently successful enough to just operate from Japan and earn USD still. Yeah, I'm in a lucky position, that's for sure. But it's doable, man. I think a lot of people's abilities to make money off of e-commerce or social media has become easier and easier. It's just it's a fight. You got to be able to afford the hard times that comes with. Because, when I was starting off on YouTube, I was going to college full-time, working a full-time job, learning Japanese, and going to the gym for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours every day. So it was what's the word? A sacrifice in that sense for sure. And, things like my social life definitely paid the price for a lot of that. But it did get me here. So you can start something like I did as a hobby and cross your fingers it goes somewhere. Worst case scenario, you learn a bunch of really important skills that you could put to use in your everyday life. Things like video editing. You can make money on the side with that, no problem. The ability to write a script could come in handy for sure. Knowing how to speak into a microphone and handle a social media presence could be very helpful. There is definitely a lot of stuff in the social media landscape that could build you a list of qualifications that could be applied elsewhere, I think. Ego Dreamer, what's up, dude? I'm an aspiring scriptwriter, and I thank you. Man, that is a fucking skill. Whew. I was not a good scripter, and you could probably argue I'm still not. I use a lot of repetitive phrasing, which I'm really trying to work on. But I didn't really focus on the scripting part of the videos up until probably like 5 years ago. And it has been a journey. And you know what helps me the most is what the fuck? What really helps me the most is watching other content creators who I really enjoy and trying to really pay attention to the way in which they write their scripts, because you can hear how they transition from one topic to another. You can start paying attention to the pace at which they're talking, how often they break off into maybe like a rant that doesn't necessarily serve the main point of the section they're working on at the moment. It is really, really helpful to find content creators whose videos you enjoy and then get extra analytical. I literally will sometimes watch like a Magellar or a Grimbeard video and have a notepad document open on a second monitor and just try to pay attention to things like pacing and to their use of language. And I don't know, man, it's a very fun fucking process for sure. Good to see you streaming now, having an excuse to avoid sports. Hey, listen, if I can get you out of it. Hey, Baby Arms, what's up, dude? I didn't see you there. How you doing, man? I watched a lot of videos discussing movies. It's fascinating. Yeah, when you watch YouTube with, I guess you could call like an inquisitive analytical eye, you are seeing a very different product from other people. It's very interesting because I've said this a lot, but it's very easy to decide what you do and don't like. But the real fucking tough shit is figuring out why you do and don't like that stuff. You know what I mean? Jared, who has the grimmest of beards? You or Grimbeard? I've never seen him before. I couldn't tell you. I can tell you he's much better at scripting videos than I am for sure. I watched Return to Silent Hill today. Didn't know it was a comedy. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. That's one of the hidden secrets of the Silent Hill world. If you're just joining us, I'm trying to farm junk right now. And it's not working. I still haven't watched that movie, by the way. And hearing it so bad, I have no interest in it, man. I really don't. Some of the backstories are more engaging than the movies themselves. I really get into, I've mentioned Grimbeard 1,000 times, but the way that he covers game development is so nice, because he will watch documentaries and read through interviews and find old magazine ads, like really, really valuable stuff. And admittedly, it's stuff that I don't do in my creative process. And that is a fucking inspiration for sure. That guy makes some just amazing content in terms of like behind the scenes figuring out his process. He knows what he's doing. He's a very creative person. Can't believe Christoph Gans effed it up. Yeah, well, you know, honestly, he had a 50-50 shot at it. I think the first Silent Hill was really good, and I would need to learn more about the development of his second Silent Hill project, but I don't know, man. He showed his face in an old car video. Oh shit. Damn, I gotta see that. I have such a fucking little teenager curiosity on how that guy looks. I have like an idea in my head how I feel like he may look. I want to see if he comes close. Quick call. Which PE do you folks like more? 1, 2, third birthday can go straight down. There is elements of third birthday that I think are fun. I think if you play third birthday as a third person shooter with interesting, unique elements, you can enjoy it. I think if you try to play it as a continuation of the Parasite Eve story, you might end up dead, maybe. So what's this? 6, 7. Okay, we're doing pretty good. We're doing okay. Third person is really graphically impressive for a PSP game, I think. I think it's well suited to the platform, the mobile pick up and play mission-based kind of thing, you know? Duck666999. What's up, dude? How you doing? Rack up that WJ. Is that what I'm doing right now? If so, then yeah, hell yeah. You're doing junk collecting? Yeah, you know, a chatter in here and fellow YouTube content creator Belquito Fuerte let me know I've been playing this game for years. I had no idea that giving what's-his-face your junk will get you a badass gun. I mean, it never tells you in the game, so I guess that's fair. And I've never read a strategy guide for the game. So it's understandable I never knew that, but I feel like with how many times I've cleared this game, it is sort of inexcusable. I don't know why that's my username. I think I chose it when I was 14. A lot of people have been noticing lately that YouTube has changed their usernames to like old stuff. I wonder what's going on with that. Yes, yeah, exactly. MasterCard Third Birthday looks really fucking good for a PSP title. It's a really bad story, and specifically what they did to Maida's character. Oh my god, it's awful. And I think it's it's pretentious in the sense that it thinks it's really smart with the way it's formatted, but it's just very clunky, obtuse formatting as opposed to like some sort of a satisfying thread that a player could follow. Oh yeah, Peace Walker was great looking too. It performed really well, which is pretty insane for a PSP title. The PSP was a fucking incredible platform, man. It was great for role-playing games. Holy shit. Chip Chap says, ever consider doing a Final Fantasy retrospective? I have thought about it before, but holy fuck, the amount of work that would go into that. And you know how I'm like a port comparison guy. I love doing that. That might kill me just on the first 4 Final Fantasies. I would end up dead, dude. But I definitely would like to talk about Final Fantasy more in depth, like maybe covering the games that I enjoy the most in the series, or instead of doing a retrospective, maybe doing more of a video essay covering the path that the Final Fantasy series has taken over the course of the franchise and how Square's developmental strategies have, you could use the word evolved, maybe devolved would also be another word to use, over the years. Yeah, so I think if I end up talking about Final Fantasy, it'd be more in a think piece type of way and less of a series retrospective kind of way. Just play Final Fantasy 3, that's the best one. I don't know, I'm a 5 guy myself. I love FF5. That job system is too good. I think the story and overall layout of Final Fantasy VI is probably the best of the 16-bit era, but it's really hard for me to deny how fun 5 is. Snap right. Yo, yeah, I know you're down for the JRPG content. You'll get it. Don't worry. It's coming. It's coming hard and fast. That's what she said. What a shame I'm not playing this in December. In my defense, it is snowing here in Tokyo. So we're basically in the same region of... What should I play after 10? Here's a better question. What Final Fantasy games have you not played? Because I would recommend you play Final Fantasy Tactics because it is fucking incredible. But if you're looking for a game that plays like other Final Fantasy games, I don't think you'll get it there. You know what I mean? It's a very different game from what you'll be used to with Final Fantasy X, but it is incredible. And the fucking OST, award-worthy. 5's underrated. Shame it took so many years for it to get stateside. Yeah, and then we had to play the PS1 version of it, which had like atrocious load times. Okay, so 10 is your first. All right, interesting. I think now that you've played 10, and keep an open mind because the earlier games in the series are not like 10. But I think starting somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe starting with Final Fantasy VI, because I think story-wise, 6 is very close to 10 in the way that it's a very epic tale that's winding and concerns a lot of characters and backstories. And it's very well produced and told in that same sense. So I think 6 will give you that same experience. And once you're done with 6, 7 is just, it is hard to explain how incredible Final Fantasy VII is. Amazing characters. The soundtrack is some of the best music on a video game console. Just a hell of an experience. I think the Octopath games are a great callback to older FF games. I still have never played one of those before. I'm not huge on the like the sprite art 2.0 style that a lot of new RPGs are using. I think the only game that has done a really good job of that same style would be the remaster of Star Ocean: The Second Story. Any non-RPG I should try. Let's give this some thoughts. I love The Last of Us Part 1. That's an amazing story-based game in my opinion. Windjammers on the Neo Geo is one of the best competitive sports games on earth. I don't really even like sports games, but Windjammers is the GOAT. And it's still available on modern platforms, which is nice. What else is really good? I really get a kick out of bullet hell shooters. Mushihime-sama is amazing. You can get that on Steam. Shikigami no Shiro, Castle Shikigami, I think is also available on Steam and PS2 and Wii and everywhere else. Very good Danmaku style shooters. XCOM. I really liked the first XCOM. Was it Enemy Unknown? I forgot the name of the first XCOM kind of spiritual successor game. I had a really good time with that one. I did not like the second modern XCOM game quite as much. It seemed like really, it's going to sound so dumb, it's like complicated. Like it was very complex and I had like a lot of shit to worry about, which bothered me. I always felt like I was fucking something up. No junk? Come on, fuck out of here. Enemy unknown, there you go. Enemy unknown. You're a bullet hell guy? Nice. Ever play Ikaruga on the 360? I never got into Ikaruga. I played it back when it came out on the Dreamcast, and here's my thing with bullet hell games. I don't like it very much when there is a mechanic that is meant to obfuscate the bullet dodging. Mars Matrix has a similar thing where you can absorb bullets around you and stuff. And it's like those are very interesting mechanics and they make sense. Like if you're going to make a bullet hell game, adding in something like that, it's like, yeah, okay. On the surface with not a lot of forethought, that makes sense. But then when me, the player, when I'm playing through that bullet hell game, there are bullet patterns that I'm not sure if I'm supposed to dodge or if I'm supposed to change my color alignment or absorb the projectiles instead. And it's like, fuck, man, just give me like bullet patterns that are really hard to dodge and give me a small like hurt box on my ship, and like that's all I really want. I like a simple cave style bullet hell shooter. I want to be able to shoot a widespread shot by mashing the button. Holding it down makes me move slower and fire in a more concentrated state. And then I just want to dodge bullet patterns. I don't want a lot of extra mechanics gumming that up. You know, I've been meaning to get into Guilty Gear Strive for so long, it's ridiculous, and I still have yet to fuck with it. Anime fighters are kind of intimidating. Coming from somebody, I got really good at Street Fighter V. I became very competitive at that game. I had an Armika that was tough as fuck to beat. But anime fighters, that's another, again, there's a lot of systems and each character may have their own individual system, and it makes it tough to pick a main and to understand whether or not you're properly playing the game. You know, I don't know. Okay, these guys will blind me like a motherfucker, but I believe they can have a good amount of junk on them. If memory serves me. Aya, please, can we not do that? Oh, fucking Aya. I'm not happy about that. I'll be honest. What do we have? Detox. Just poison, huh? You asshole. How about we run around for a while and just see if this goes away? There we go. I got chat to read, but I'm in the middle of a bullet hell fight. I was wondering, doing content creation in Japan, do neighbors bother you if they know you're streaming or shooting videos in your house? Because I know they have YouTuber type houses there. Honestly, no, I live in a very quiet neighborhood, so I don't have any issues in terms of noise. I mean, sometimes like a loud truck will drive by and my window here sort of faces the street, but that's one of the benefits of living in a residential area in Tokyo is like, this is something that's hard to imagine unless you live here, but in Tokyo, you could be right next to the highway and it could be loud as fuck and just obnoxiously noisy. And you take a left and you walk for maybe a minute and a half and you are you could hear a pin drop. It's so quiet. So my neighborhood is so quiet to the point where like I can't skate here. Like I can skateboard to get around in terms of like getting to the station or something like that. But I very much am self-conscious of trying to do tricks here, because if I don't land a trick and, you know, I land grip tape down, it makes that loud smacking noise. I feel like a fucking asshole. So noise is not so much of a problem. I honestly, sometimes listening back to my voiceovers, I'll have the volume turned up kind of high. Because I like to listen to them with these are very neutral headphones. So they give a pretty, very accurate sound without a lot of distortion or added bass or treble. But most people aren't listening to my voiceovers on like high fidelity speakers. So I also like to listen to my voiceovers on a pair of just like Logitech 2.1 speakers with a subwoofer attached. And I feel like sometimes, you know, that can be pretty loud and it's bassy and my neighbors might hear it. So I'm more worried about bothering them. Oh, I'm getting blinded for sure. See what I say? We can do this. Fuck it. He'll get close. No, he won't. Parasite Mutant's a good spiritual successor because Square doesn't want to print money. Yeah, I mean, in this one scenario, they have a pretty understandable reason for not creating a sequel. Normally, I'm with you, though. Squaresoft sucks. God damn, that's a lot of BP. Hell yes, son. Jared, what do you think about Parasite Mutant as a spiritual successor? Sucking my dick. I made a video on Parasite Mutant. I very much enjoy it. I think the demo that's out right now is a little, you know, I don't want to say rough necessarily, but it's certainly not fully polished, in my opinion. It is, however, very, very good. Has moving to Tokyo been the right move? Be honest, feels like a dream. Michael Chapman, I'm gonna fucking level with you as honest as I can be. This is the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. I've dreamed of living in Japan for a very long time. And I worried when I came here that it would, I would be so disappointed. I was worried that like I would find aspects of living here that would really sort of go against how much my expectations. And it has turned out to be so fun, so incredible. I've met amazing people. I have had so much fun learning the language and the culture here. Going just little simple stuff that would be normal A to B shit in America. Like, for example, walking to my gym, getting a workout in, and then stopping by a restaurant on the way home to get like a high protein meal in afterwards. That is the kind of shit that dreams are made of, as far as I'm concerned. This is an incredible city, and there are some amazing people in it who are genuinely very nice, especially to somebody like me. You know, the way that I look like I do, I'm covered in tattoos. I look like I might mug you. You know what I mean? Like I could understand people looking at me and having a certain opinion, right? People are incredibly nice to me. They're very personable. The customer service is amazing. Obviously, there are downsides and stuff for sure. The fact that me and my wife have to, one of our big stresses is managing our visa. You know, my wife is in college right now, so I I have a partner visa through her. Or what's it? No, spousal visa, sorry. So I have a spousal visa through her, and that's great. And when she graduates college, fuck, we're going to have to hope that she's able to get like a full-time job. Because at the moment, getting a job as a YouTuber is very tough, and I would have to hire an expensive immigration lawyer in order to do that, which would be a motherfucker for sure. But a lot of that is just, it's in service to an incredible experience that I have here. And me and my wife are both pretty set on the idea that we're home here. You know what I mean? So we're going to try to make this the long haul. Hey, Regan, how you doing? Welcome back. Yeah, Tokyo is an amazing place. Japan's an amazing place. I like Tokyo because it's sort of my first experience of Japan. One of these days, who knows, maybe we may move to a different part of Japan. Niigata looks incredible. I don't know I'll ever go as far as Osaka, but I would like to visit there to make sure that's not the case. Oh, you fucking asshole. Yeah, this place is amazing, though. And what it offers is a really interesting future. Because I know that as I continue to live here, I will have to continue to improve my knowledge of how Japanese governmental systems work, my knowledge of the language to be able to do things like, for example, taking my cat to the vet requires a level of Japanese that I had not been proficient in before, right? And I'm going to keep being met with scenarios like that will continue to force me to improve myself. And that's like a really cool prospect. The idea that you're living in a place that kind of forces improvement. Like that's awesome. Jared for Shibuya representative. That is one, you know, speaking of negatives, because I talked about it before. One of the big negatives here, obviously, no firearm ownership, which that does suck. But on the opposite end of that, you don't really need any guns in a city where crime is so rare and where you are, you know, you've got like 4 inches on every person in the city and like 130 pounds or something like that. So it's not necessary, but as an American, I do sort of like, I value the concept of responsible firearm ownership. I can't vote until I become a citizen, and becoming a citizen is incredibly hard. So there are downsides for sure. This is not like a perfect place to live. And like I said, the hardships are there. You know, finding a visa and knowing that your visa is tied to your employment. That's tough, man. You know, like what happens if you're not happy with your job, but you are happy with the country you live in? That's a tough prospect. Japan's not like the Yakuza games where you get random encounters every block. Sadly, I was expecting that, but yeah, it is not the case. If you move to a different country and are a citizen, learn the language. I think, yeah. Well, I think if you move to a foreign country, you should. It's your responsibility to learn the language. I think you're making a bit of a statement when you don't, because you know, learning any language is going to be tough. So I'm not shitting on people who are what's the word? Not scared off, but intimidated by the idea of learning a foreign language. That shit's hard. I had to go to school to do that shit. It's tough. But you shouldn't be in a country if you're not willing to do what's asked of you to live there. And you know, I'm of Cuban descent. So for those of you that don't know, Cubans in America sort of have a collective goal. You learn the language, you start a business, you get rich. That's like the Cuban ethos of immigrating to America. And to be fair, as Cubans, because of the agreement that America had with Cuba after the Bay of Pigs incident, it is easier to become a resident of America as a Cuban person. So I understand that to be the case, but Cubans tend to, more often than not, learn the language of the country because that is necessary in order for them to succeed and do better. So I feel like it is incumbent upon people who move to a foreign country to learn the language of where they live and to be able to contribute and communicate the way that they would need to in order to do well. And to, I mean, hey, David. Hell yeah, Romantic Touch is now a member, all thanks to you. What's up, dude? How you doing? Much appreciated, man. Yeah, I don't think it's unfair to require familiarity with the language of your home country in terms of immigration. I think that should be a given, honestly. I remember in junior high in Japan, I was told perms weren't permitted, but my hair is naturally curly. Interesting. So the principal was really apologetic. People would pat my nose like it was a Buddha belly. Yeah, I know that sometimes if your hair is naturally not like dark brown or black, that they will request a picture of you as a baby to like make sure that your hair isn't being dyed or anything. That's such a wild idea, you know? Japanese is hard to learn how to write, and that's because of all the Chinese they stole. Yeah, I mean, it's all, kanji is all Chinese. At the very least, though, hiragana is 100% there, so that's nice. But in terms of grammar and speaking English is illogical. Yeah, for sure, it's illogical, but if you are coming from another Latin-based language like German, Spanish, or even Portuguese or Italian, English is as easy to learn as any other Latin-based language. It's no different outside of, obviously you'll have to learn different sentence structure, and conjugation is a little different in English than it is in Spanish. But as someone who speaks 3 languages, I can tell you among all of them, if you're familiar with Spanish, English is one of the easiest languages on planet Earth to learn. If you are Italian, English is pretty fucking easy to learn. But it just depends on for example, if you're Chinese, English is fucking wild, dude. That is a very, very different idea of language compared to what you're used to. Same with Korean. English is a Germanic language. Yeah, but Germanic languages have Latin as a root. Katakana and hiragana are straightforward. It's just another alphabet. You know, katakana bothers the shit out of me, and here's why. I know that there's an explanation for this question, but so for those of you that don't know, Japanese has 3 alphabets. You have katakana, hiragana, and kanji. Kanji are the Chinese characters that they took and gave different readings to. Hiragana is all of the vowel sounds of Japanese. You could write out full sentences in hiragana, but they're kind of hard to read because physical punctuation is not used very often in Japanese. So kanji, they're pictographs. So it's a little easier to read a sentence with kanji in it because you can read a couple of different readings out of a single character of kanji. And then hiragana will fill in your spaces, right? But then katakana is the alphabet they use for foreign words. But it's the same vowel sounds as hiragana. Ha, ga, wa, to, no, sol. They're all in there. It's the same sounds. They are written differently. And the idea is it's supposed to visually show that a word is non-Japanese. Like toilet in Japanese would be toire, and that would be usually written out in katakana. Milk or cream would be written out in katakana, right? So milku, kurimu. Here's my question. Why not just write that in hiragana? Like, I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. Just fucking write it in hiragana, please. I don't want, like, katakana is not hard to learn. You could learn katakana over the course of like a weekend. It's true. It's really easy to learn. But why? Why do you fucking have to? Wait, why would you take active time recharge slower? Who would want that? It's fucking... Come on. Okay, so I can use a tool for sure to take that HP max, though. Get my end jacket. I have a shit ton, and I could definitely use HP max up. I don't have any tools. Never mind. It's like writing normal versus cursive. You know, it's very similar. Yeah, for sure. Bureaucracy knows no bounds, especially in Japan.
The most common question I got studying in Japan was, what is my blood type? What is the most common question you get in Japan?
Common question.
Why do you kill me? No wake, no resident evil.
Oh, what's up, dude? King Grogu. How you doing, man? It's been a while. So most common question. I didn't go to school. I mean, I went to Japanese school here, so I didn't get asked my blood type at all. I think the most common question I get is how I learned Japanese, because I try my hardest to speak Japanese in every interaction, and oftentimes, and Regan will know this since she studied here, it's pretty common for Japanese people to see a foreigner and you know, basically use an interaction to test their English, which is, you know, fine. I mean, that's what I'm doing with my Japanese, but I respond in Japanese because, you know, you can test your English, no problem. I'll just do the same with Japanese. But they often, you know, they Nihongo jozu me, and they ask me how I learned Japanese, which is fun because that's a pretty long story of talking about how when I first moved here, I studied Japanese in a language school for a year, but in America, you know, jibun de benkyou shimashita. So like it's a fun sentence for me to be able to finish fully in Japanese without like you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I don't get my blood type asked at all. I think a lot of times people probably avoid talking to me because I look a little scary, probably. My fiance is obsessed with kanji. She's doing the Heisig method. Heisig is supposed to work really well. I've never tried it myself, but I've heard a lot of people who are very positive about Heisig. A buddy of mine is obsessed with this one guy created the system AJAT, all Japanese all the time, constant listening, constant practice. So if you're traveling somewhere, have Japanese conversation in your headphones. When you watch media, watch the Japanese version of a TV show or whatever. And he swears by it. Me personally, I have I learn from experience type of approach. So conversation is probably my greatest teacher. But that's for like spoken Japanese. That's not. Heisig is totally different in that sense. Kanji's fun though. I mean, it's intimidating as fuck. I have dyslexia, so kanji is very intimidating for me. But I think it helps with my dyslexia because they are pictographs. So a lot of times, and Reagan, let me know if this was the case for you. I have found that it is so common for me to understand the meaning of a kanji without ever knowing its reading. And for those of you that don't know Japanese, what I'm saying is it's really easy for me to look at a kanji and know what it means in English, but not know how to say or pronounce it in Japanese. You know, the PPK has a killer fucking base, but I think we're taking that first attack from it. I think that needs to happen, right? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to need to take that from you, PPK. Quick draw is definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. I know Japan is big on blood type personality. After looking into it, I definitely fit the personality profile for my blood type. Oh, interesting. I guess my wife would probably get that question more because she works in a Japanese office. Jared versus Kanji, a stalemate. Essentially, that is the description of my life here. But I get a lot of it's really fun trying to read kanji, and then finding the meaning of kanji through context is very, 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 very fun. I have a really good time doing that. I think, okay, yeah, we'll go through here. I definitely get that with kanji. I'm far from fluent, but you can tell when I'm way too drunk when I switch between English and Japanese. So I'm really lucky. I have friends in the hardcore scene and heavy metal scene here in Tokyo who speak probably about as much English as I speak Japanese. And we have understanding that we're, they use our conversations to get more proficient with English. But if they can't, they'll switch to Japanese, and it's the same for me. So I've gotten really confident, although I haven't learned, a whole lot of new vocabulary. Just in terms of like experience and usage, I've gotten so much better with Japanese. Just because with my friend group, if I can't think of a word in Japanese, I can use English, and they will get the meaning, Fuck, we're going to have to go back. Yeah, we want to spray multiple targets. We definitely want that. Okay, so we're going to go back now. And we are going to... Yeah, for sure. Yes. That's what we're going to do. Okay. And we'll save it beforehand just in case this isn't what I want. Going to Japan to test my English as well. Hey, dude, do it. There you go. I'll tell you one thing. English from a Japanese speaker is very hard to understand because they learn English in terms of kana. They learn English within their vowel system. And sometimes it's really easy, like toilet, toire, right? Like you can sort of get the meaning, but there are times when it's not even the accent, it's just the kana that makes things hard to say. Allergies, arerugi, like that's fucking tough. You know what I mean? For a native English speaker. So, I think I might have a bit of, like an inbuilt skill for hearing past, accent. Because, I lived around, like, most of my family in Miami is Cuban. So a lot of Spanish being spoken in the household, a lot of broken English and accented English, which maybe gave me a bit of a talent for it growing up. You have that in your head and you're used to making that code switching kind of situation happen. So I tend to do okay here in Japan, but my wife really struggles with understanding English words from a Japanese speaker. Stalwart Spartan, how you doing? Quick question, if it's okay. Yeah, absolutely. Is Torment Souls worth getting on the Switch? Tormented Souls is super fun. I loved it. I would say it's worth getting on the Switch for sure. 100%. That being said, I have not played it myself to know if there are any like extra bugs. You know what I mean? But it's a very, very good game. It is so fun. It's classic survival horror in every sense of the word. It's really, really good. I will say, though, if you're talking about the first game, don't be afraid to reach for a strategy guide if you are really stuck on a puzzle, because there is one puzzle in particular that is world famous for being just impossible to solve without prior knowledge. So that'll be my advice for that. You know what? Let's equip. Oh, I did equip it. Okay. So why is it not hitting everyone then? You fucking asshole. Hold on. Let's see if we can't get rid of our blindness. Okay. Fucking asshole. This is such a cool shotgun. Facial animations really took a
Jared wanted to
nosedive.
know if you drink or not and why. Also old news. Do you know King Cobra JFS past sad face? Want to move to Japan God willing. Love ya man laughing face.
Shrewd Outlaw, thank you so much for the $5, big dog. So yeah, I do know that King Cobra JFS died, and that really does suck, which does tie into your question for sure. To be honest with you, I didn't follow his hijinks really closely. It's more that like I watched a lot of YouTube channels who would often reference King Cobra JFS, and it's sort of hard not to know about him through that stuff. And I have watched a couple of videos that like chronicled his like Facebook streaming time and stuff like that. Definitely RIP Cobes. Very sad situation. No, I don't drink alcohol. I've never drank alcohol because when I was, I want to say 10 years old, my dad would drink. He was an alcoholic for many, many years. And he, you know, would be drinking while I was a kid, walking around doing my thing. And I would always ask him, like, hey, can I have a sip? Can I have a sip? And of course he would always say no. And then one day he's like, you sure? And he gave me a sip of his beer. And I think it was an Ice House. So I took a sip and it tasted so bad that it like scarred me. I really, really did not like the taste of it. And ever since then, I'm good. I don't need to drink any alcohol anymore. So I didn't drink for a very long time because of that. And then by the time I was old enough to drink, I had become straight edge, which means no drugs, no alcohol, no tobacco, no promiscuous sex outside of a monogamous relationship. So by the time I could have possibly not done that, I was kind of like locked out of drinking anyways. The straight edge edgelord. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, I have a pretty negative view on alcohol. I would very much, as someone who is straight edge and who has been for like 25 years, I think, I would much rather people smoke weed than drink alcohol for sure. I think it's a much less destructive habit. Obviously, you know, people are free to do whatever they want to do, but if like I became president or something like that, I would very much rather the legalization of marijuana in all facets than I would the legalization of alcohol. I can't get rid of my junk. Fucking can't. I'm gonna have to use the medicine for her. Okay, we'll take you. All right, let's head back to the precinct now. I was a bouncer for a good few years too, though, and that'll give you a negative view on But Jared, what about the orgies you organized? Well, I'm a very good organizer for sure. I could get an event going. Ice House will turn you off alcohol forever. Yeah, that's what I've heard before. So I guess it's a good thing my dad drank Ice House at the time. Coffee is your poison of choice. I definitely, I love a good cup of coffee. There's a cafe near me that's just fucking out of this world. But more than coffee, I'm an energy drink guy, which, by the way, is a very negative habit that I do realize. But since I do work out every day, I'm very active. I skate every day. I don't drink or do drugs or smoke tobacco products. So I feel like I'm allowed one vice. You know what I mean? I think it's great you're straight edge. I'm trying to quit my last vice, smoking cigarettes, and it's very hard. So, dude, cigarettes are tough to quit, bro. That's hard shit. My dad and my mom quit smoking, and it took them most of my life, basically. They were big smokers when I was young. Yeah, cigarettes are no joke because they're so socially acceptable. You could smoke anywhere. No one would ever, you know what I mean? Like it's not a problem. I'm actually I don't know how long it's been since you've been here in Japan, Regan, but things have changed here in Tokyo. Back in the day, you could smoke anywhere and everywhere anytime you wanted. Nowadays, you cannot smoke on the streets. You can't smoke in any buildings outside of certain arcades sometimes. It's gotten really fucking, in my opinion, it's gotten much better here because the smell of tobacco, it like gives me a headache for some reason. I don't know if anybody else experiences that. From smoke weed every day to work out and skate every day. Fuck it, do all three, man. if you, I think any drug can be done in moderation depending on the personality. That's my personal opinion. Like, I think there's probably someone out there who could recreationally do heroin. That requires a strong will, I would imagine. But I think moderation is the key, man. If you get home from work and you want to smoke weed, I'm all for it. I want you to be able to do that. It's not for me, but I can't see anything wrong with it, you know? You're an inspiration? Nah, I'm a dude. I think I've always had a penchant for, how would you say this? Defying expectations. A lot of people, when they look at me out on the street, would probably assume like I'm a mean person. You know what I mean? That like I'd be more likely to beat them up than to say hello. But I'm like a really nice, personable. I enjoy being sociable, and I try to be as nice to people as I possibly can. I am a big fan of violence. I love fighting, and it has given me quite the fucking police arrest record. But I also have a belief that people aren't one thing. And like this is a dead serious and honest philosophical position for me, is people aren't a single aspect of their personality, and oftentimes that means, for lack of a better word, being hypocritical in a way. You can be an oxymoron to yourself. For example, it was snowing yesterday, right? And half of my brain basks in the purity, the untouched nature of the snow on the street and on my balcony. It's beautiful in its purity and in its wholeness. And part of me really appreciates that. Another part of me wants to walk up to it and smash it all around and fuck it up and touch it and interact with it. And I'm like that with violence because I think violence is fucking incredibly interesting. And it's something that I enjoy pursuing both physically and philosophically. I think the idea of two men wanting to challenge each other's strength is honestly kind of cool. I like that idea. And I like the anger and passion that comes with it. Because if you're at a party and two people fight and it fucking ruins the party, it's easy to go, what a bunch of pieces of shit. They're so immature. But another position to look at it is, it's like, fuck, those are two people who were so fucking angry, so fucking just pure driven by rage that they were willing to risk harming themselves and others in order to like get it done. I find that to be really interesting, you know? At the same time, I'm also the person at the party who's like, oh, what a bunch of fucking assholes, you know? I was a bouncer. I broke up fights for a living. So like it's I don't know, man. It's weird. I have a very interesting position on a lot of stuff. I think that there is a line drawn straight down the middle of me, And psychologically speaking, I am incredibly nice and sociable, but I'm also very reserved and I don't like leaving my house. I'm very lazy. It is hard to motivate me, but at the same time, I get up and I go to the gym every day. I skateboard every chance that I get. If something needs to be rearranged in my room, I'll spend 2 days cable managing my desk. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. There's a lot of shit about me that doesn't make any fucking sense is the best way to explain that. I think we should use our super tool on that shotgun. Let's see. Violence is definitely a great trope in storytelling. That is hard to deny. Okay, yeah. For sure. Okay, we use the super tool. Does that take all the okay, let's see. M79 with the M870, right? And the super tool, we take everything. Right? Hold on. Because I don't want to lose quick draw. Ah, you fucker. I thought the super tool, hold on. But then what the fuck is the difference? Parameters or effects? Move everything. I thought that's what the super tool did. Am I insane? I'm pretty sure that's what the super tool does. Some people only respond to violence, sadly. Yeah, but you know. That's kind of fun too. Equip the Frame Meister. Oh, then I'd be invincible. With a lot of analog video noise for good measure. Okay, so let's go to store item. I don't think I need the mod permit, right? Let's see something here. We go to tune up weapon. Oh, maybe that's where, this is where we use the super tool, Jared, you fucking idiot. Okay. So, M79. No. Let me do the fucking thing I want to do. What? Fuck you, why not? Oh, okay. So this is adding, okay. Did I use my, okay, I was about to get pissed off. How do I give you the trading card though? Without violence, DBC would be Ace Attorney. Dude, the super dual scam, they got me. Oh, it doesn't break the thing you're taking it from. Okay. Thank you very much. Benishi. I didn't say that right, that's for sure. Thank you. That actually helps a lot. Okay, good. That's good. So we can take... Good. Okay, yes. We will use the super tool on the M79 and take the attributes and apply it to the M870, which we will in turn transfer to the shotgun from the museum without losing quick draw. If look at us kicking ass, taking names. You can't fuck with me. I'm too good. Okay, so do I have any tools in my... I mean, to be fair, I haven't played this game since the last time I streamed it, which was years ago. Okay, I got no tools, but that's all right. We're okay. We'll take our offensive things. We'll head back to the warehouse. Ah, you fucker. I would like to not have that, though. Are there any good pizza places in Japan? Back in the day, I would say no. Right now, Domino's is killing it. They have awesome pizza here. I really like Domino's a lot. And then on Wednesdays, I think they do like a half off type of deal. It's fucking solid. But Pizza Hut's pretty good too. The only problem is they got some weird fucking pizza types here. They have mayo and corn pizza. They have shrimp, all kinds of fucked up pizza toppings that honestly feel illegal. Okay, well, let's get rid of a lot of our bullshit right now. Although the M79 we might want to keep with us because that has all those attributes. Hearing you talk about fighting, I've got to recommend a video called Never Die, The Rise and Fall of Pride Fighting Championship. Oh, sick. Okay. I like dope shit. Never Die, The Rise and Fall. Okay. There we go. From Napoleon Blown Apart. Ah, God, they got me. I'll cue that up. What sauces do they put on pizza? I don't know. Pretty like the usual tomato sauce stuff you're probably used to. Okay, before I put away my armors, let's see if I have any that are worth keeping around. Yeah, we can get rid of the CR protector for sure. Yeah. Yeah, none of these are worth keeping around for the moment. This is the most boring gameplay I think anybody's ever seen before. I'm just like sitting around like scratching my head as to which attribute I want to fuck with. Okay, good. Are there any people out there who have actually ran out of ammo in this game? Genuine question. Am I going to do the new Game Plus Chrysler building? Yeah, sure. Why not? Jadit-san, hello. Final Solution, how you doing? What's up? Torch, no way. You actually ran out of ammo? That's insane. Also, being in Seattle, I can hear fireworks going off outside. I'm guessing the Seahawks one. Oh, shit. I didn't even know they were playing. There's a huge chance of whatever Japanese company is franchising an American fast food joint in Japan is infinitely better than its country of origin. You know, I used to think that was like a weeb position. Like, yeah, if it's in Japan, it's better. Yeah, that's basically the case. It is. You are so fucking on the nose. You have no idea. And it's just because Japan has a much higher degree of stringent standards for food and safety stuff. A lot of the oils that something might be fried in a fast food joint in America would be significantly less bad for you than they might be or bad for you here. Ingredients tend to have to pass through much stricter standards and stuff. You know, like it's a common, people who live here long enough have a common saying that visitors for some reason think that McDonald's tastes better in Japan. It does. It genuinely does. And it doesn't sit so heavy on your stomach. Also, milkshakes in Japan McDonald's milkshakes, much better here. Can't speak for everyone, but I like the game. I'm mostly here for the vibes. Yeah, fair enough. We got a good amount of those going on. We are vibe specialists over here. Oh, you fucker. I love that our shotgun has such good range. That's so dope. Stop moving fast, fucking asshole. I think the shotgun is... I've never actually used a shotgun on the crab boss at the bottom of this place, so... Japan is much more health conscious. It definitely is. It's a little... It can go too far with it too, though, to the point where, like... It's really common for, like, chubby people to be just, like, made fun of. And they're not even, like, obese. They're just, like, a little chubby. It's like, socially speaking, it's common if you've gained some weight, a Japanese friend will like poke your son and be like, damn, you got fat, dude. Speaking of Japan, you ever stay overnight at an internet cafe? I hear so many stories about them. I haven't had a need to so far. But that would be fun one of these days. That'd be cool. Did Jared change his name to CC? Did I? No, I don't. Wait, did I? I don't think so. If my food isn't giving me 3 different kinds of cancer and filling my balls with microplastics, that ain't American. I agree. Listen, I'm there with you. I want to get to the point where I'm like 68% microplastics. Oh, you're talking about vibes. Oh, yeah, that's right. Dude, that's fucking... the whole controversy is so ridiculous. I'm seeing it from 2 different ends. Because on one end, the people who were mean to that guy... Fuck, what's his name? The Marvel player. I forget his fucking name. Anyways, the people who were like an asshole and kicked that dude from that tournament are fucking assholes. They're fucking dicks. He didn't do anything wrong. He seemed like a regular person. He wasn't like some kind of fucking spurg. He was just a nice dude who was asking politely, hey, can we win this tournament, please? And they were fucking assholes to him. On the other end, though, they're just assholes. Like, they didn't like scam anybody, or they didn't, pull a fucking rug pull, or... It's just so weird. The response has been, and to be fair, it's because so many people are lying about it. Like, the people involved are saying like, oh, I never said this, and then they're recorded saying, you know what I mean? It's just like, it just seems like such a big fucking... I think there's nothing going on right now, and the people involved in that were very unlucky, because now that's everybody's shit. He's a college kid who wanted to win 40K. They did scam him out of 40. Yeah, I mean, 100%. You're correct on that front. But I'm saying, like, they didn't do the kind of shit that would normally cause this level of controversy. Like, for sure, the guy who ran the tournament is a cunt, because some fucking... You got some girl in your ear like, this guy sucks. And he's like, all right, I'll kick him immediately without saying anything else. I would imagine that guy has problems fucking getting women normally. That's the only reason I could imagine somebody being that way. Oh shit, 17 round. Fuck yes. Listen, the people who were fucking, I forget, I don't know what the guy's name is. I forget it. But anyways, like, the people who treated him poorly, they're fucking cunts. That sucks. Don't do that. That's fucked up. It just seems like people are going crazy over this shit, and it's just such a non-issue. Yes, that guy got screwed out of 40K, but he got screwed out of 40K. That wasn't guaranteed 40K. It's like he had a chance to lose that, competition for sure. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying like what they did was right, and I'm not saying he wasn't completely in the right 100% and did nothing wrong, aside from suggesting, hey, could our strategy be a little better by you using a different character? But that's all I did. And like, that feels disproportional to the amount of attention it's getting, I think. Kingsman, thank you very much, Kingsman. Yeah, it's just strange. It's strange to me that's getting such a massive amount of attention for being just like a regular kind of like, hey, bunch of fucking assholes were being shitty cunts to me. It's like, all right, I don't think everybody on the internet needs to know about that, probably. The entitled cunt and her friends not only threw a 40K tournament, and then getting him banned from the location, future events, fuck all of them. Yeah, fuck them. I mean, they're assholes for sure. There's no doubt about it. It just feels like people in the Marvel scene should have probably known about that. That makes sense, but like, I don't need to. Like, I don't give a fuck. Outside of like, yeah, like I agree, that guy did nothing wrong. And he didn't even like, it's not even that he was suggesting something out of this world. He's like, could you use a different main? And she's like, fucking hell no, you're the worst person on planet Earth. Like, Kingsman did nothing wrong at all. And it's not that like he deserves any sort of hate or like splashback. But it's also like, it's a fucking Marvel tournament. Who gives a shit? No one on Earth should give a fuck about that outside of people who play that game competitively, I feel like. We got this. We're doing good. What is unagi? Interested in all Japanese dishes. Unagi is eel. They have like a sort of sweet soy sauce glaze that they put over top of it, and the unagi is laid over a bed of rice. It's very good. Eel's texture can be a little different, but it's good. It's something you should definitely try once for sure. What the fuck is going on? My text-to-speech isn't working. DeBrother Man with $5. Thank you, dude. Hello, Jared. What do you think about the recent Japanese politics that LDP won a huge victory, and do you think gay marriage will be passed in Japan? I hope it does. I know at the moment right now, Japan recognizes any international marriage, whether it be gay or straight. It would be nice if it did. I feel like the way Japanese politics work is that they are I guess it's the same as in America. You have a bunch of really, really old people with very old school views on the way things should be done, very conservative views for the most part. And it's
Hello,
very...
Jared. What do you think about the recent Japanese politics that LDP won in a huge victory, and do you think gay marriage will be passed in Japan?
I would like to hope so, but it's hard for me to feel like that will happen given the amount of just old motherfuckers who still use flip phones that are in charge here. I think we might need to wait another 8 years. You know what I mean? These people don't have a whole lot longer left in their careers and or lifespans. But it's hard for me to believe that Japan will make very large liberal changes to the way they govern. It's hard to believe that just because of the way things are here. I would hope that things like, you know, we've been talking about it a lot, but like legalizing marijuana, I would hope becomes legalized, gets passed here. I don't think it will. It's hard to believe that it ever will. But Japan has been known to follow a lot of other Asian political trends. And if other Asian companies, you know what I mean, adopt that, maybe. But again, it's kind of hard to believe. Thought I could like climb up here. No, I guess not. Two-minute warning, Seattle's winning 29-13. Man, my buddy from Boston's going to be pissed. Sometimes I wish I put money on football games. Because I feel like me not knowing anything gives me an advantage. I have no biases. I don't know. I don't care what city anybody's from. So maybe it'll help me out in the long run. Don't shit talk my flip phone. Listen, old Japanese people are the reason that when you apply for jobs here, you still have to send out faxes. I honestly forgot Japan doesn't have gay marriage. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's sort of hard to get a read on that here as a person because it's not common for Japanese people to bring up politics in a lot of situations. It's kind of seen as like one of those things that's like not inappropriate, but just kind of like, we'd rather avoid it because it may lead to a disagreement or something. And Japanese people tend to be very averse to confrontation. So a lot of times it's kind of hard to get a read on what people want and what's happening politically. I was going to say the same earlier, man. Why is weed still legal in Japan when they openly eat mushrooms? They stopped with the mushrooms that'll fuck you up. That used to be a big thing here. They made those illegal as well. One of the things that's happening here in Japan that's fun to follow is so marijuana is illegal, but only the chemical composition of THC is illegal. The way that they wrote the law made that specific chemical combination illegal. So what a lot of like companies are doing are creating like derivatives of THC. They have like THC 0 and like betas and alphas. I don't know the whole thing, but those will exist for like a couple of months until Japan gets a chance to vote on them, and then they'll be made illegal once again. It's an interesting little back and forth to watch. If you ever subscribe to any like Japanese newsletters or anything, you'll often see stuff like that, which is kind of funny. Oh, really? I had no idea. Yeah. That was the thing back in the day. For a long time, that was the case. But Japan eventually did make them illegal. Oh, he shot it. It feels inappropriate to say he's going to shoot on stream. Mushrooms are just food poisoning. That's an interesting way of looking at the high. You know, technically, it is just, I mean, it's true. It's basically that episode of the... No, you fucker! Oh, I had to revive. Thank God. Okay. Fucking shit. Oh, dude, that got me for a quick second there. I'm glad I carried that revive. I have not died in this game in so fucking long. I've not seen that. Holy shit. Thoughts on the Fallout games? I love Fallout 2. 1 is okay. I kind of prefer 2. If you are going to play 1, though, play it with the mod that takes off the timer for you to get the GEC. I put about 35-40 hours into Fallout 3 and had my fun with it. I probably will never play that game again. Never played New Vegas. I put like a good 35-40 hours into Fallout 4 as well. I really enjoy the Stalker games, and the Fallout 3 and 4 kind of gave me it scratched a similar itch as the Stalker series did, but it didn't survive as long as a Stalker game usually does. If I start up a Stalker game, I play it for about 100 hours usually, and Fallout games I can't play for that long. It's interesting, in Japanese games, anime, and media, there is plenty of representation for LGBTQIA+, going back to the 80s. True, yet politically not so much. Poison, the Berta Pink Yoshi are trans. The Poison one is actually like a common misconception. Poison was just a way to get around having Fatal Fury exist on the SNES while hitting a woman. They just like classified Poison as a man in the game in order to get around Nintendo's the American moral arm that allows you to put games on the fucking console. But yeah, you do see, and like, I think one of the biggest problems with LGBTQ representation in Japanese media is the gay person is kind of always seen as the joke character, the comic relief. Although nowadays you are getting dramas that have gay characters more and more often, which is nice. But yeah, you are right that they will show gay people in their media. They just won't necessarily recognize their existence in public, which is fucked. Okay, so let's make a run on Chinatown now. I think, yeah, we're pretty well set. You know what? Let's go first. Go to the NYPD, get another revive, because now I'm paranoid, dude. I used to never keep revives on me. Bro, please, New Vegas. Yeah, everybody says it's amazing, and I feel like I would get into it the way it's described. I just never had a chance. So there's a lot of sunlight in here right now, and I'm seeing little spots on my monitor from when my cat likes to sniff my monitor, and she'll touch her little nose to it and leave a little nose print on it. I need to Windex this bitch. Do I like Japanese horror? Actually, Noah Holliston, I kind of don't like Japanese horror at all. Not a big J-horror fan. A lot of people are surprised by that because I play so many horror games from Japan. But for example, Resident Evil and Silent Hill, what I think give them so much value to me is the fact that they are the product of Japanese people interpreting more of a Western horror motif, which I find to be really interesting. We don't need AT4 at the moment. I guess I can keep the rockets and fucking... No. I mean, if we're not using it. No, there. Oh, I can't get rid of them? All right, hopefully... Do they take up... asshole. Fucker. Okay. Maybe we take... All right, we got a lot of options here. We got a lot of stuff to fuck with. I say... Potentially... Is that all I have? Oh, okay, the M79's here. Yeah. But then we'll lose our slow effect. But I think that's worth dropping, right? You know what? Maybe we don't. Maybe we wait till the yeah. We wait until the museum so that we can take these attributes. We could take the attributes from the M870, put it on the shotgun from the museum, and then we can take our first attack, put it on. Okay, yes. And then we could use maybe a super tool or something, and we could transfer all that stuff to a handgun. Poison trans or not, either way, she is gorgeous. Oh, fuck yeah. You will get no argument here. I tried to main her in Street Fighter 4 for a while. She was fun. I don't know what it is. For some reason, anytime I play a fighting game, I'll play other characters, but I main females every time. I don't know why. Something about it. I like slender, fast, quick types. And for some reason, that just makes sense with like a feminine frame to me. Japan has always drawn a pretty thick line between fiction and real life. That is true. Especially like Japanese acting is very much not accurate to how Japanese people interact with each other in everyday life. Okay, I actually do love the Japanese overtly stereotypical interpretation of Western culture and media. It's food for the soul, in my humble opinion. Yeah, for sure. It's fun. You get to see something that's familiar to you through the lens of somebody who doesn't quite understand it on a cultural level the way that you do. And that's just, it makes it interesting. It sort of highlights aspects of it that you might not have thought about critically otherwise. You know what I mean? Fuck it, we'll go for it. Hayao Miyazaki is my other J hero for anime. You know, I watched a documentary about him. He's kind of an asshole, like as a person. He's a fucking dick to his son, who's terrible. What's your thoughts on Alex joining the NWO in Street Fighter 6? I never fucked with Alex. He was annoying as hell season 1 on Street Fighter 5. He was fucking frustrating. Or not, I'm sorry, after season 1, once he was buffed. And well, here's the thing. I was a Mika user, and Mika got nerfed like a motherfucker. So once Mika was nerfed and Alex was buffed, I hated fighting him. But I don't really like him. He's kind of slow. I enjoy grappler characters, but I like people like Mika where it's like rush down grappling. Oh, you know what? I went to the NYPD to get a revive. I didn't even do it. If we die for real, people. This is it. Yeah, I probably won't use Alex at all. I haven't found a character in Street Fighter 6 that I give a shit about using, to be fair. Guessing in DOA you play Kasumi, Christy, both extremely fast and beautiful. I like Kasumi, yeah. If my son made Tales of Earthsea, I'd be shitty to him too. Come on, Earthsea's good, dude. You want to be King, as in Tekken's King. Yeah, King's dope. Also, you do want to talk about a fresh-ass fit, dude. He really is. It's awful. Yeah, it's wild, dude. Your demeanor does not match your Hell's Angel aesthetic at all. Yeah, I get told that a lot. I enjoy that though. It's fun. It's fun, challenging. I mean, people have expectations of me, and it's not even that I think, you know, because a lot of people will be indignant about it. They'll be like, yeah, why would you think that? I know why. I look like I do on purpose. It's not like some kind of weird mistake or something. So like, I do sort of enjoy challenging the sort of expectation you would have of a person who looks like I do, covered in tattoos with the word violence tattooed across his throat. I very much deserve the prejudices that I bring upon myself. Yo, what the fuck? That is a shit ton of BP. All right, cool, dude. I'll take it. King never misses with a fit. I'm so mad I missed his shoes in Tekken 8 Battle Pass. I missed out on it. I have a King shirt in my closet that Uniqlo was doing a Tekken collab. But I remember on Twitter they had a release where it was this entire outfit from Tekken 2. Beautiful. It was gorgeous, dude. Okay, yeah. 45 for the ATB. That is just godly. So far, though, we're doing fine. Let's save BP for a little bit later. You never know. Cammy and DiCaprio, I love the clone genre in fighting games. I never really, by the time that like Ultra Street Fighter 4 had come out with so many different characters, I had stopped playing for a while. But I did like, what's his face, Dudley. Dudley was fucking dope in 4, but I preferred Sakura. This game's so pixelated, it's sick. It is, dude. It's fucking dope. Oh shit, Mario, what's up? I didn't see you there. Jared has to become with a calm one because his high school sweetheart is a natural redhead from Southern Florida. Yeah, she's from Detroit, actually. Makes it even worse. And she does start some fucking shit. Mario and Chad, I'll let you know. Josine starts some fucking shit. Also, she's a fucking asshole. Sometimes she beats me up. Not in like the domestic violence way, but that is kind of how we fuck around, is we fight each other. Especially, there's something about right before she goes to bed, I like fucking with her. And she hates it because she's really tired, right? So I'll start fucking with her, and then she'll like punch me in the ribs or something, and then I'll like put her in a headlock or something like that. And I made the mistake of teaching her how to get a hold of somebody's fingers when they have you in the headlock. And before we moved to Japan, she broke my fucking ring finger. That was sick. Dudley's gay. He's the best. He's not gay, is he? He's just really, he's a romantic. Come on, man. Bro, yes, verified. Dude. Josine is a fucking fighter. There's no doubt about it. Dudley's not gay, is he? My man's just, he's a romantic. He's a hopeless romantic. Oh, shit. We could take, all right. All right. Yeah, we could take the first from that. Hell yes. We got options now. That's adorably romantic, Jared. Yeah, we fight each other all the time. It's fun. We've never, like, physically hit each other out of anger before. Not, like, actual anger. She does get mad at me. Okay, so this is gonna... I'm painting the wrong picture. Me and my wife have, like, an incredibly loving relationship. And we are madly in love with each other. We have never once had, a domestic dispute in that kind of way. But... I have this thing where she's like, I'm going to choke you. And I'm like, you can't choke me. My neck is too strong. There's no way. So we tried it once, and she got on top of me and put both hands around my neck. And I could still talk to her. And she's like, I swear to God, I'm trying my hardest. So that's fun. Consensual domestic violence. There you go. That's it. Oh, he's not. It's a misconception. Interesting. Yeah, no, he's just he's just an English gentleman. That's all. Nothing wrong with strong women. Definitely not. That's what got me, man. Back in the day on Twitter, there was this big argument going on where people are like, they're like, yeah, you're gay if you like women with muscles. Like, dude, women with muscles is fucking hot. I can't think, dude, a woman with a round set of shoulders on her? Holy shit, dude. That's my form of hubba hubba. I am very much down with girls getting jacked. Oh, fuck, I didn't mean to do that. I want to go the other way. Don't lock me into something, please. Okay, thank you. Good, all right, I can save. I love these moments where there's no sound and you get the echo of the footsteps. It's so sick. As long as it's not muscle dommy mommy shit. I don't get into the dominatrix stuff. That stuff's weird to me. But I mean, fair enough. If you get into it, that's cool. I think when you start thinking about sex in terms of like power and who has it, you're already kind of going down a slippery slope there. I think sex and power should probably be kept separate from each other because, I don't know. I don't get into like the being hurt stuff. And like, I don't think, as like I'm not even the most fucking like Chadley dude or anything, but I don't like the idea of like some girl tying me up and me like losing any of my agency during sex, I guess if you could put it. Let me guess, you grew up watching China and WWF Raw? Nah, she is not very attractive at all. Rest in peace, China. Rest in peace. She had great muscular structure, but had a fucking jawline like a football player. I wasn't down with it. But that's what happens when you blast gear as a woman. You masculinize your you make your features masculine, and that's fine if that's what you're into, or if that's the career path that you're trying to take. But I don't find it very attractive. Right now, it's really common for women in social media to blast gear, and it's like, dude, you are fucking yourself up so bad. And coming from a guy who has hair loss, is like, you don't want that shit. Don't fucking bring it on yourself, trust me. And it does a lot of fucked up shit to your skin, the blood vessels around like really sensitive areas, your cheeks and your chest. You destroy those basically explode, you know? But that goes with using gear anyways. Like if you're a guy and you blast gear, like if you're on a shit ton of tests, like we're talking over 300% of your natural body's production, you will make your face square. You're going to look really fucking puffy and stupid. You're going to get that Cro-Magnon look to your head. Lose all your fucking hair, acne and shit. It's not worth it. So she broke your finger out of joy? Yeah. Essentially, we were both having fun. And then she broke it. But to be fair, I break that finger all the time. It happens nonstop. There's that saying, it's like, these two knuckles hurt them, these two knuckles hurt you. For me, it's this finger hurts me, because every time I throw a punch with my left hand, I break this ring finger every fucking time. Pre or post surgery China, there's a difference. I don't know that I've seen her. What surgery did she get? I'm only familiar with the China that was like on all the t-shirts and stuff like that. Stream Martian Gothic unification with no guy. Dude, no, why would you do that to me? Hell no. I would die. Ever heard of Gabby Garcia? I'm not making fun of her because she seems like a really nice person, but she is massive. Let's look her up and see how big she is. Garcia. Whew. Yeah, she's big as fuck. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm getting a different Gabby Garcia here. Oh, before she got breast implants? I don't know if I'm familiar with China before she got breast implants, no. I guess I'll type in muscle, and then I'll narrow it down. Garcia muscle. Holy fuck. Those shoulders and traps, she would kill me. Yeah, for me personally, that's an incredibly masculine build I don't find very attractive. To be fair, even the guys that I'm attracted to are a little more feminine. Like, if you're more masculine looking than Davey Havoc, I probably don't find you very attractive, to be fair. But I will say that she is huge. You know, honestly though, her fucking quads and her thighs are pretty lackluster for how big her upper body is. I mean, more power to you. You got visible abs and usher lines, and your shoulders are fucking yoked, but those are small thighs. Incredibly small thighs. And that's weird for a woman to have them, because it's very easy for women to pack on muscle. Hey, Jared, no, right when I do. Oh, BJJ, yeah, I got her. She's a 5-time BJJ champion. I believe that. I fucking believe it. She is huge. It sucks though, because, you know, the fact of the matter is you do so much damage to yourself with the amount of tests that you have to fucking slam to do that. it's like, and I get it, like your profession sort of requires it in a lot of ways if you want to rise to the, top 1% or whatever. But I don't know if it's worth dying at 56, maximum. I kind of feel like you're really doing yourself a disservice. Joe's going to have to triple gym visits at this rate. Hey, I wouldn't have a problem if she did, man. Fuck. There was a time when Josine had some fucking quads on her. She had some stems looking good. Jaruto-san. Hakata. Jaruto-san wa katakana ga kirai nan de iga. See, this is how hard this is. Iga iyo ne. Kirai. What is kirai? I forget kirai. Don't tell me. Kirai surechatta. No, you spelled it wrong, Jared, you idiot. Honto kirai. I'm so used to saying amariski janai. So, kirai nande igai yo ne. This is so hard. Why are you doing it? This is why he's doing it to me, because I was saying it. Testing the Japanese right now. Yeah, but the thing he's doing is he's writing it all in fucking katakana, which is the hardest to read. Katakana wa, kakkoi to. No way. You really think it's cool? I disagree. I very much disagree. Katakana wa, 本当に、読む方は本当に、安いの、なんですか、難しいと思う。たくさんキャラクターが同じのキャラクターがいるから数と地との It's really fucking difficult to tell them apart a lot of times, especially when they're using a different font. Zelalia? Hopefully I read that right. How you doing? What's up? Yeah, katakana amari suki janai. Hiragana no yo ni カタカナだけでちょっときついよね。きついの意味は何ですか？カタカナは難しいですか？書いての流フォームは Hold on. What is to write? I know the te form, but I don't know the ru form. Kairu. Yeah, kairu, right? I know kairu is to go home too, but... I think, okay, so, katakana no yomu koto wa muzukashii kedo, 変えることは安いと思う。My own Yoshi spells. Yeah, exactly. でも私は、ディスレクシアがあるから、多分、それは、fuck, I forget the, Ryu? Ryu is the reason, right? Jesus Christ, Dante Masato, you're murdering me with the kanji. にほうかるけどそのことができないそうなんだいやそう読むことができるけど あまり好きじゃないカタカナの中に、たくさん同じシンボルがあるから、私にはちょっと難しい。ディスレクシアがあるから。ジャルドさんのなんでこの漢字の意味はちょっと待ってください。I want to do this on my own. 自分でしたい。Oh, that's a tough one. 血気型。あ、いい質問けど知らない。I don't think I've ever known what my blood type is. That's interesting. Ketsuki gata. I've never heard that. You know, me and where's she at? Regan in chat. We're literally just talking about that. Oh, sucking nerd. I gotta ask you getting off on tormenting Jared like this. No, actually, I ask him to. Every time he comes here, I ask him to challenge my kanji and my reading. Dante Masaru は私の友達。いい練習と思う。They're having a grand old time. Yeah, for sure. We definitely are. Fuck you. There we go. I don't care. Do it. I got some fucking lead for your ass. Yeah, the katakana sentences were definitely a dick move for sure. John Smith, what up, dude? How we doing? Yeah, exactly. The kanji is the kanji will always come back to haunt me. I think I have a much larger speaking vocabulary than I do have a bunch of kanji that I know for sure. Is it possible to see the video 2 weeks early? The link expired. The one from yesterday? That link should still be good. I did get a copyright strike on it. Maybe that affected it in some way. God, that pisses me off so bad. Fucking copyright strike. If you copyright strike on YouTube, some motherfucker who hasn't used the full entirety of your work in their video, you are fucking bitch made. That is facts on facts. Yeah, the link should still be the same. I'm looking at it right now, and I haven't made any changes to its visibility. But just in case, if you're wondering, that link should do it. There we go. Automated corporate cuckery, indeed, of the worst design. Yoyado baise. Charido-san. Okay, so Regan is B positive. Watashi no ichiban suki na bando wa type O negative. Dakara, tabun type O negative desu. Watashi. Copyright cucks are the lowest form of content creators. Yeah, and here's the thing. This is the worst part too, because in their defense, I did use audio for a movie trailer from a YouTube video, but in the description of the YouTube video, it said, "Thank you for watching. Feel free to use this audio for free." So I was like, "Oh, good. Yeah, I'm home free," because I can't create, trailer music. I was trying to make a movie trailer, right? By the way, that link that I put is what I'm talking about. If you watch the first section of that video, I make this really cool movie trailer for the game that I'm covering, and man, I was so fucking proud of it. And then some fucking cunt copyright struck it, and now look at me. I'm an asshole. What part of the game is this? We are just about to switch to the second disc right after this area. For sure, rage against the copyright. Fair use has no standing on YouTube. It sucks so bad and forces honest critics to alter their content to skip it entirely. Yeah, that's the thing. Do you know how much I would enjoy doing movie reviews? Dude, one of my favorite movies of all time is Clue. One of the best movies ever made. I can't even talk about it. Night of the Living Dead, my second favorite movie of all time. I cannot talk about them without risking getting copyright strikes, and it's so fucking lame. And a part of me does understand YouTube's position. It's like they don't want to take a side, because realistically speaking, you could be an asshole uploading Simpsons episodes, for free for everyone to watch. Like, I get YouTube doesn't want to be party to that. But there has to be some sort of middle ground where people who are making honest criticisms or using content within the parameters of fair use, there's gotta be something we can do. You know what I mean? People wonder why so many people just use AI to get around that bullshit. Yeah, dude, I fucking, it sucks, man. It sucks hard. But, to be fair, every job has its bullshit. So it's I can't talk about it like it's some special thing, but it is especially frustrating. There's no doubt fucking about it. How do dedicated movie review channels exist? I can't imagine. All of them are unmonetized. So I follow a guy, I think it's Weird Movies with Mark. Really, really great channel. And he does most of his stuff on video, on camera. So he's standing in front of the camera. He has an iPad that he reads his script from. And he mostly shows footage of himself with maybe still shots or very short, like we're talking 2-second clips running concurrently in the background. and he cuts to the movie for very, very limited amounts of time, like 4 seconds maximum. You know what I mean? And I'm fairly certain that's how he gets around it. But to be honest with you, I really don't know the full answer to that question. Damn, this is so fucking cool. Okay, I think we're going to have to change discs here, which I believe my X station should let me open and close the disc tray. Let's find out. Let's see. Hey, check it out. It worked. Fuck yeah.アイスコーヒーのことがマシ? アイスコーヒーのことがホットコーヒーは私の日本語なんといいプレフェレンス。Savini remake. The Savini remake. What was it? 92, 93, something like that? Or maybe it was 89, I forget. No, it was 90. It was in the 90s. Philman Jocko said, just want to say hello, getting back to sleep. It's my day off. Hell yeah, dude. Enjoy it. Dante Masaru, Suma wa ice coffee ga daisuki kedo watashi wa hot coffee. Fuck, how do I say hot coffee no koto ga ii to omou? Is that it? Nomu koto. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I prefer. I think it's hot coffee o nomu koto. Ni coffee o amari suki, nomu nai. Damn, that last part is tough. Okay, hold on. I know this is, what is that? Like, let's see. Chotto matte, Dante Masaru. Translate します。After, so I was right. Atto. Okay, so like it's like atto aji basically. I've never seen that in Japanese before, but I got the context of it. Interesting. Okay. I understand that though. I understand that. I used to not like coffee very much. What's the best way to learn Japanese? Not the way I did it. I think you should do the opposite of what I did. You should learn how to read first and then learn how to speak. Reading does just so much for your ability to understand vowel sounds and to be able to pronounce Japanese words really well. So I would say learn hiragana first, then katakana. If you don't want to learn kanji, I understand. Maybe once you have a solid base of hiragana and katakana, you can start learning how to speak, but at some point kanji is going to be incredibly important. Learning how to speak, though, sort of requires somebody who knows Japanese. Conversation is so integral to the process of learning Japanese. Katakana dake de no to kaki ma sho. No, please. Please don't do it. It took me so long just to read that. All right, so we're about to go to the fuck. This is okay. So this is gonna be tough because we're gonna need to. I didn't mean to do that. No, I don't want that. Come back. We're just gonna have to take a look at what we have and whether or not it's worth keeping. We can get rid of you. Katakana de kaite nai kudasai. M793. I guess we don't need to keep the M79 around because we can get the first attack from the Club 3. And then maybe we keep the M793 around. So we get rid of the Club 1 and the M79 original. Yeah, hiragana only sentences are tough as fuck. There's no doubt about it. Like, onegai shimasu is so much easier to read in kanji than it is reading the whole thing in katakana. Although I do wish that there was a universal rule in Japanese that every kanji came with furigana automatically attached to it. I think I'm about to get out of here and do a little more writing, which is very necessary at the moment. But before I do that, I'm going to try and farm for a little bit of junk. So maybe we can stick around that long. All right, there we go. Damn it, you fucker. I have that many tools? Yo, I'm cooking. All right. Good to know. Fuck yeah. All right. Maybe we keep those honest. Maybe we keep them honest. Sucking my dick says, Jared, I loved your voice over for the intro of the new video you dropped in chat. Can't wait to watch it along with the Parasite Eve Mutant video after the stream. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you, man. I'm going to have to upload a new version of that video that just basically explains there used to be a trailer here until some fucking asshole copyright struck me. It looks like they're not responding to my dispute, which means I'll probably win it. But the only problem is if they do respond to the dispute after the video has gone live and it's garnered a lot of views and ad revenue, they could just take it. So I'm playing a dangerous game here because I could wait them out, but then I just literally get all of the money from that video taken away from me. That fucking sucks. Publications and the like are required to use furigana on words that are not considered everyday. I've noticed that in a lot of advertisements when they use really uncommon kanji, they'll include furigana, which is nice. But what if we could like move that around to every time kanji is used? When you don't have a native Japanese speaker, that's when Kill Bill happens. Yeah, exactly. They might be such massive content, they're actually waiting to do just that. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's either I wait way too long, to like a week later to release that video, which would really harm me in the algorithm, or I release it now, allow the money to continue to go into escrow, and then these guys respond to it once they've seen it has a significant viewership. And it's like, fuck, dude, that's giving them way too much. Like that's just asking to get fucked, you know what I mean? Waiting on your Alone in Central Park stream, Jared. Is that a thing? What's Alone in Central? Is that like a movie or something, or? Tale of Two Sisters. I don't like Korean horror very much, but I watch a shit ton of like Korean suspense and revenge. Whew. You don't get better than a good Korean revenge flick. Chaser, fuck, what a good movie. Man from Nowhere. Obviously, Old Boy. Okay, most important question of the night. Hold on, let's give it my full. Why do people think that liking Henry Cavill is gay when it's clearly Cavill sexual, which is completely straight? That guy's a hot motherfucker, I'll tell you that much. Here's the thing. This is the only proper response to that. Liking Henry Cavill is gay, and being gay rules. Oh, the 2007 Alone in the Dark. Ah, you know, that would be fun to boot up on PC one of these days. Get going. Honestly, that sounds kind of fun now that I think about it. I did do 69 damage, and I totally meant to. I think these birds are the ones that are really good for junk farming, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, you hit me. That's so terrible. Oh no. Shotgun. Who would have thought? Junk? Junk. Alright, so it's the birds. For sure. Now, how do we reload that fight? I support you getting that written into law. Man from Nowhere fucks. That ending fight scene burned in my heart. Dude, my wife loves Man from Nowhere. I remember showing that to her for the first time. Yeah, Man from Nowhere is fucking incredible. And like, it's like great acting. The action is amazing. That one scene, oh my God, when he catches the people snooping around in his apartment and one of them has a knife, right? So he pulls out his wallet and the two look at each other like, oh, this guy, he doesn't get what we're doing, right? And then he just uses his wallet to disarm the knife. Fuck me in the ass. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, dude. Are you too gay for RE9, Leon, Jared? I would say I'm probably not too gay for much of anything. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to the RE9 stuff lately. I've been trying to stay free of RE9 information to avoid spoiling anything. Also, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little apathetic about RE9. I'm just kind of like, fuck, man, I don't know if I care. You know what I mean? The creator back end inside has been exactly that. Very interesting. What are we talking about? Oh, in terms of like content creator stuff. Oh, nice. Glad you got some entertainment out of that. Dude, Man from Nowhere is hard. It's real fucking hard, dude. It doesn't get much harder than that. That one scene where he fights the Indonesian guy and their blades lock and you can hear the noise of the blades scraping against each other. It's like, coming from somebody who likes to sharpen knives on whetstones, that noise is like nails on a chalkboard. I'm like, oh God, they're ruining their blades. It does look like a very good game, but I understand being skeptical because Capcom is honestly, it's not even that I don't trust Capcom, although I don't. It's more like, man, I'm finding it harder and harder to get excited about Resident Evil titles when I can get what I really want out of Resident Evil, which is survival horror style gameplay from something like an indie title that like Ground Zero is out right now. I could get what I want from Resident Evil out of that. You know what I mean? We're just going to keep grinding here just a little longer. Yeah, the raid is tough to beat, to be fair. I think the raid and a lot of Tony Jaa movies figured out that what you really want in an action movie like that is hits that feel and look real. People's reactions, the way their head bounces off of the fucking drywall, like that needs to feel authentic. You want to feel like someone's getting their fucking shit smashed in. It's kind of harder to go back and watch other horror movies now that you know what it looks like when someone actually gets elbowed in the forehead. It's tough, man. Tony Jaa's stuff, like, though, I don't think the raid would exist without The Protector or Tom Yum-Goong. What was the name of that? The Protector, and what was his other movie? I completely forgot it. Fuck. What do you think about the last two Resident Evil games? I'm on the fence. What was the last one? Fuck, the last like numbered Resident Evil was 8, and it's like good. It's action packed. It's fun, but it's just kind of like by the numbers. It's like you'll like it, but you'll probably won't replay it. I think. 5 and 6 rule. Ungbok, there you go. Ungbok, thank you. Damn, Ungbok's good. 6 is honestly really fucking dope. You're not going to get anything like 6 out of the current Resident Evil games, for sure. 9 is looking dope, though. I would say 7 is like mega slow paced, and if you like 5 and 6, I wouldn't go after that, Mario. I'd say 8 would be more your speed. It starts off kind of slow paced, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? And then you're like capping werewolves in first person, fucking them up. And there's just big fat titty goth mommy in it, which you'll definitely get a kick out of. Yeah, 6 is one of those games. If you're just trying to play a video game that's fun, that shit'll get you fucking going, dude. Like running and then jumping full speed, landing on the ground, staying on the ground and shooting, and then rolling around to shoot other shit. Like, you don't get better than that. The elevator fight scene in the raid was just a small fight scene in the movie, yet it had so much love put into it. The knife goes through the neck and actually scratches up the panel. Yeah, dude, it's hard to beat the raid, honestly. Actually, Mario in chat, we were all hanging out at Steven's bachelor party. And we were like, fuck, what do we do? Oh, I know. Watch the fucking raid. And we did. It was sick. Everybody else was partying. We were like curled up on a couch watching the fucking raid. Unmatched in 6. Dude, Mario, you have no idea how much the internet disagrees with you, though. People hate 6 so much. I agree, though. It's fun as fuck. It's like stupid fun. Man, I'm just trying to get some fucking junk. Can someone please fight me? I need it. You know what? Fuck it. I'm calling it. I'm going to save it right here. I got some writing to do. Plus, I'm hungry as a MFer. Watching movies at a party is the best. Yeah, dude, I've done it quite a few times. It is the best way to spend your time. Everybody, you want to fight? Come at me. Let's do it, dude. I'll take your Russian ass on. Let's go. Yeah, everybody, thanks so much for chilling. This has been a nice, laid-back time, and that's exactly what I needed. Hope you guys have a good one. Don't drink and drive. Make wise choices. Stay in the fucking gym. Learn how to do a skateboard trick today. That's an order. I'll talk to all you guys later.